Elon Musk just did one of the smartest things I think he could have done, and the market is loving it. Right now, the stock is up 6.4%, moving towards the close, and they just announced that Ford would be using Tesla superchargers in 2024, basically giving Ford access to 12,000 superchargers in North America. At first, I thought this didn't make a lot of sense. I knew that this was possible, right? I knew that this is something that Tesla had talked about being open to. But I thought one of the greatest things about buying a Tesla was access to this supercharging network. That's what draws a lot of people in, is that they have so much more ability to go to these chargers versus ChargePoint or some other type of charging infrastructure that is generally harder to find, not kept up as well, slower, more inefficient compared to Tesla. Now, I think there are still a variety of reasons why this is genius. That was my thought at first, was that they were going to lose a competitive edge. However, let me just say, the cost to build a Tesla supercharger is $43,000. This is recently revealed to be 1/5 the competition. So if Ford was going to go build out the same EV charging network, it might cost $2.4 billion. Now, maybe they can lower the cost over time with as much volume as this would be, but also it's a lot of logistics. It's buying properties or renting properties or whatever they have to do. It's teaming up with different Myers and other brands to put them in the parking lots. A lot of people might not be willing to do that because, first of all, Tesla is a leading EV car manufacturer. So if they were between a Tesla supercharger and another supercharger, the fact is they'll get a lot more business for having Teslas. And this would take a lot of time. It would cause them to lose a lot of sales. Now, that makes sense from Ford's perspective, why they would want to team up with Tesla, because they have access to all these superchargers is a good selling point for them. But why would Tesla do this, right? If they are losing some competitive edge, and I apologize, there's noise behind me, people are working out there, but there are a couple big reasons they could be doing this. Now, something that they didn't talk about was what Tesla gets out of this. Do they get a payment? Do they get reoccurring payments? Is there some other reason that Tesla may be benefiting from this monetarily? Well, I think there are a couple different reasons that Tesla could make money from this, or a couple different ways. Now, I'm assuming in the next call with Elon, next shareholder meeting or next quarterly report, I think there will be a lot of questions about this. But I think something that could make sense is for Tesla to charge more to non-Tesla owners to charge up. Really, at this point, with what I saw, the one time that I've actually used a supercharger in 10,000 miles that I've driven, the one time I realized it's about the same cost as filling up gas when you're out and about. Now, most of the time you're charging at home, it's about 1/5 the price of gas. But when you're out and about, it costs about the same as gas, but you could charge, let's say, Ford owners 20% more, 25% more, something that gets them to use Tesla chargers, seeing how good the system really is, seeing how great the superchargers are, but you have to pay more. Wouldn't you be annoyed if you constantly got gas, but the Toyota next to your Ford always always filled up for $30 and you had to do the same thing for $40? And then people were just raving about their cars all the time next to you and they're paying less? I think you'd get annoyed after a while, and maybe you'd think about buying, for example, here, a Tesla. I use Toyota there. I don't know why. But that would be like an equivalent if you were at a gas station instead. That's one thing. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Ford has to pay an annual amount. Kind of like naming rights, right? They're going to be able to sell more vehicles because of this, and Tesla could benefit from just getting more revenue from charging other vehicles. But also there is a bit of a drawback for Tesla owners, because now you have Ford sitting next to you, you have more competition for the same amount of chargers. Now Tesla is building out their charging network a lot more. They're always adding more chargers, but still there is some drawback to that for being a Tesla owner, right? You have more competition. You can't charge as easily because there are going to be more people at the pumps. So I wouldn't be surprised if not only charging more, they also had a payment. Imagine that. You get $500 million or $1 billion from each of these different car brands each year. That's a lot of free cash flow. That would be a 99.9% profit just going down to your bottom line. That could be really good for Tesla stock and Tesla owners, right? That would be $3 billion worth of cash flow, and that could scale up over time. Maybe you charge 5% more a year, something like that. And what could be really interesting, I think this is where the really smart thing comes in, or where it becomes genius to have done this. If you're Tesla, if you're allowing Ford to partner with you, do you think Ford's going to go out and build this $2.5 billion North America charging network? I don't think so. I think Tesla then would, I don't want to say become a monopoly, but they would really dominate the charging space. Other companies, other charging networks will probably go bankrupt if everyone goes with Tesla. It makes more sense. They have more stations, they're better, they're faster, and you would pretty much dominate that space, which means every single electric vehicle sold benefits you. They could figure out, okay, every vehicle sold, every electric vehicle sold in America, we make this amount of revenue from each year. And they could scale that out and look into the future. You know, if we have 100 million electric vehicles here in North America, or just let's say in the US alone, 10, 20 years from now, maybe they make $10, $20 from each person every month. Think about how much money that is. So I think that that's one genius thing that they can do is basically they make it so easy for other car manufacturers to use them that they don't actually have any network of their own, and no one tries to build this out. So for Tesla, genius, because they could actually make money forever from chargers. Really smart. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Was this smart by Tesla? I personally think it was genius, but there are some drawbacks to it. We'll need to see more information as to how they actually benefit from this. But again, I think there are a variety of ways that they can make money. I think it's kind of a Trojan horse where they're pretty much giving up, these other companies are giving up their ability to build out their own network. Now, full disclosure, Tesla could be moving up as well because a lot of tech companies that have not moved up in the last few days are starting to move up, like Amazon's up 5 or 6%, Netflix is up 6 or 7%. A lot of tech stocks are moving up today, but still, I think a lot of this is due to this genius idea by Elon. And of course, it's not really an idea. This is something they've talked about before, but they're finally taking advantage of it. And I'm just finally thinking through all these implications for them, including these car manufacturers, in their business plan and making money from them. But let me know your thoughts underneath the video. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification. Also, there are links to moomoo and Webull in case you want some free stocks underneath the video. Those links are right down there. Deposit $100 and you'll get like at least $20 or $30 worth of free stocks, usually a lot more though. And I will see you in the next video.